You might have heard about this proposed bill in Florida that would ban girls in school from talking about their periods with school officials. And you might think, well, is this the media getting ahead of themselves? No, when asked about it, the person sponsoring this bill makes pretty clear that yes, it would have that consequence. Take a look at this.
Does this bill prohibit conversations about menstrual cycles? Because we know that typically the ages is between 10 and 15. So if little girls experience their menstrual cycle in 5th grade or 4th grade, will that prohibit conversations from them since they are in the grade lower than 6th grade?
You're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It would.
Okay, glad that we were able to clear that up. This is, when we point out that they're banning books and everything, they'll always hide, pretending that it's some sort of myth created by the liberal media. No, they are fully aware of the insane consequences of their disastrous bills. And so, look, it was great pointed out by the speaker right there about the timing of this, how many people it would affect. Annie Filkowski, policy and political director of the Florida Alliance of Planned Parenthood, says young people start menstruation anytime between 9 and 16 years old. It's ridiculous to prohibit them from discussing it with their teacher. And some might desperately need that. Again, all of this stuff about like protecting the kids, but also parents' rights forgets the fact that many times kids do not feel like they can talk with their parents about this sort of thing. The idea that they would be legally barred from it, that there would be consequences for it, is absolutely insane. What do you think?
No, it is part of the Christian nationalist march to, again, a country that treats women and girls as second-class citizens and absolutely makes children more vulnerable to all kinds of sexual assault, to molestation, to pedophilia, if you really want to get serious about that, and of course to unwanted pregnancies, which then they want to end in a new life being born so we can start this disgusting cycle all over again. That's where this leads. Look, man, as a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, I didn't like the first port of call wasn't like, you know what? Mr. Richards, the science teacher, is definitely someone I'm gonna tell about my period. No, that's not, that of course nobody talks and that's not your first port of call. But if you have no one to talk to, and also if you could potentially get pregnant, you need to make sure that the adults in your life are watching out for you, that you have the ability to trust them if something should happen to you, right? And to say nothing of just getting pads or tampons, or understanding how the menstrual cycle works and understanding how it's for life, girl, and it really sucks.
100%. By the way, I want to give credit to JYPZ Rocks who reminded me of this. I had forgotten about this. So let me get this straight. So they are going to be barred from discussing menstruation with school officials, but also required to give a detailed calendar accounting of all of their periods to their coaches to determine whether they can play in their sports. So remember that story from a couple weeks ago. They really seem not sure about when these conversations should be happening.
Super normal coach hiring process. And
totally normal.
Let's see, what is your experience in monitoring the menstrual cycles of young women?
I have a lot at the amateur level, but I'm ready to go pro.
Amazing.
Anyway, absolutely insane. This is Florida. This is what needs to be fixed in Florida schools. They don't have any other problems, I have to assume.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.